In the quiet town of Hollowbrook, nestled deep within the heart of the United States, a sinister darkness had taken root. It was a place where the mass shootings had become so common that the once peaceful streets now bore the scars of terror. Every resident lived in a state of constant fear, their souls heavy with the weight of anticipation, wondering when the next nightmare would descend upon their lives. One particularly gloomy evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting eerie shadows across the town square, a chilling wind rustled through the leaves of the old oak trees. The air was thick with unease, a sense of foreboding that hung heavily in the atmosphere. The townsfolk locked their doors and windows, their hearts pounding as they huddled in their homes. As the clock struck midnight, a deafening silence blanketed Hollowbrook. Then, the sinister sound of footsteps echoed through the deserted streets. Heavy and deliberate, they grew louder with each passing moment, creating an eerie symphony of dread. In the dim light of a flickering lamppost, a figure emerged, obscured by a long, tattered coat and a hood that concealed their face. They moved with a sinister grace, stalking the night with a purpose that sent shivers down the spines of anyone who dared to peek out from behind their curtains. The town's only police officer, Sheriff Anderson, had been working tirelessly to solve the ongoing nightmare that had plagued Hollowbrook. He was a man who had seen too much, his face etched with lines of weariness and determination. That night, he sat in his dimly lit office, poring over case files, desperately seeking a pattern to the madness that had consumed his town. The radio crackled to life, startling him. A static-filled voice pierced the darkness. "Sheriff, you need to get to the old Hollowbrook High School." Anderson grabbed his flashlight and gun, his heart pounding in his chest. He knew this could be the moment he had been waiting for, the chance to catch the perpetrator red-handed. He rushed to his patrol car, sirens wailing through the deserted streets, disturbing the uneasy silence that had gripped the town. Arriving at the school, he was met with an eerie scene. The abandoned building loomed in the darkness, its windows shattered, and graffiti marking its desolation. As he cautiously made his way inside, the beams of his flashlight danced through the corridors, revealing a trail of blood. Anderson followed the gruesome path, each step heavy with dread. The corridors seemed to stretch endlessly, twisting and turning as if leading him deeper into the heart of darkness. He couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched, that every shadow held a sinister secret. Finally, he reached a door, partially ajar. Pushing it open with trembling hands, he stepped into a nightmarish tableau. The room was filled with discarded weapons, a chilling testament to the horrors that had unfolded within these walls. And there, in the center of the room, stood the hooded figure, their back turned to him. As the figure slowly turned to face the sheriff, a ghastly smile spread across their face, and in that moment, Anderson realized the true horror that had taken hold of his town. The mass shootings had indeed become commonplace in Hollowbrook, but what he faced now was a terror beyond comprehension, a malevolent force that thrived on fear and darkness. The nightmare had only just begun, and Hollowbrook would never be the same again.